want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President, like you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself, people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they
Now for God alone, he won't be the eater. Other creatures can eat it too. One can pray for long hair, she can pray for too much. But as long as she's living, her hair will grow in a salon. And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I don't you get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, mama. You take it from you today, I will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, I will take it from you tomorrow, brother. Oh, guess I believe, guess I believe, oh, guess I believe. Now for God alone. Guess I believe. No, but God alone. I'm about to wait. Never want my wake out. Sweet, guess I believe. Okay. No, but God alone. You my big
Oh yes, I tell you, this wonderful time. Whatever you're doing, folks, and however you're doing it. And let's do it together right here on this one radio. Okay, all right. So I'd like to say good evening and welcome to this powerful segment of our program. My name is Shiku Shapewaikoma, and let me say it is a wonderful thing here to be. It's so wonderful to be here this time, and I'd like to say welcome to this A beautiful segment. We are waiting for Gibson Jeru to be here. But while we are waiting him to be here, we will start to go over to our correspondent desk very quickly tonight and see whether we can start bringing you information from our One Global World tonight on this program. So if you're just joining us, I'd like to say welcome and welcome here tonight. I'm trying to see whether we can get our correspondent online tonight. We have Musa Alexander Musa. And Musa Alexander Musa is all the way there in Grand Bassa County. Good evening, Musa. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening to all of our listeners following this conversation this evening.
Musa, it has been a couple of days now. We've not been hearing from you except we see stories in the chat room. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you. At times there's no engagement that we need to respond to responsibly. So that's why a few days ago you have not heard from me. But as it relates to development taking place in Grand Bassa County, I think the chat room, there's some development there from Bassa here.
All right, good. Welcome. Tell us exactly what's going on in Grand Bassa County, beginning to be specific.
Well, thank you. Yesterday, the affected communities in Grand Bassa County that are, affected by the operations of ArcelorMittal Liberia had a press conference threatening, mass protest, giving the company 3 days ultimatum to adhere to an MOU that was signed on the 20th of November 2023. And within that MOU, which we have copyright before us as we speak, was outlined that, the rehabilitation process of the railroad that is being used by ArcelorMittal, all the scrap taken from there or extracted from there as per the instead of the rehabilitation will be turned over to the affected communities to be used for developmental purposes. The MOU signed on the 20th took effect as of that day, according to the clause within the MOU. But the affected communities have complained that in the sense that MOU was signed in 2023, November 20, and yet to benefit their portion of the agreement on grounds that the company within the MOU mandated them that they protect, the railway from theft or from, let's say, damage or damages for community dwellers, would they be effective and efficient in terms of having, community watch team watching the railway every night. But then they yet to hear from the community as it relates to, what portion of the MOU that they need to respond to responsibly. And the MOU also stated that in the 20 persons be employed by ArcelorMittal Liberia for each of the affected community in Grand Bassa County, Bon and that of Manimba. But up to now, they yet to adhere to that. And so that anchored the affected communities in Grand Bassa County and had this press conference threatening, a mass protest against ArcelorMittal Liberia if this refuse to adhere to the 3 days ultimatum. And
is this the first time that community dwellers are protesting against ArcelorMittal or planning to protest against them?
One certain affected communities in Grand Bassa County, even Buchanan City, numerous protests, even last year there was a mass protest that led to the injury of one of the youth advocates of Grand Bassa County, Abraham King Jones, in a hospital at JFK, and later on, he recovered and all that. So there have been several other protests against the company here in Grand Bassa County. So like our proponent, after we heard from the affected community, we did follow the former immediate superintendent of the county, Ali Levi Williams, who is the signatory to the document. He alluded to it that in the agreement was the document took effect as of the 20th of November 2023. But he himself, before leaving office, he began to follow ArcelorMittal Liberia due to pressure from the affected community to adhere to one portion of the MOU, but to no avail until he left office. And so we tried to talk to the company through the head of corporate communication, Winston Dayu, or his phone rang endlessly, only send a message that indeed you call back later. We send our text messages sent to him. Up to today's date, he had to respond to our calls and text messages sent to him in regard to the planned protest by dwellers of affected communities along the roadway as we operated by ArcelorMittal Liberia.
Is there any other thing you'd like to share with us before leaving us?
Yes, sure. The Grand Bassa University here, some staff and workers of the university staged peaceful protest yesterday, making today day 2 of the protest on grounds that they want for the president and his cohort or associates to resign from the university due to malhandling of the university, online the issues of salary disparities, not allowing them to have grievance ethics committee on the school campus, and other, as we refer to as multiple, let's say, issues that the president, Dr. Samuel Mowell, been carried out at the university campus. And so they started the protest yesterday. That prevented the president, his city vice, and that of the comptroller from accessing the campus up to today. The senior action continues, bringing some level of, let's say, study activities of the Grand Bassa University. So we placed a call to them, to the president, and he described that as a political tactic on grounds that he said he received call from one of the staffers of Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, complaint from one of the staff of Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence that the pending graduation on the 24th of this month of the university will not go on. So he attributed that action to political maneuvering by some who believe that he should not continue as president of the Grand Bassa University. So he said he complained to the High Commissioner of Education, and for now, the Monday, according to him, he's expecting the body to be live on the campus of the university so that we are to amicably resolve the issue of the status.
Thank you very much, Musa Musa, for being
Thank
a
you.
part of our program tonight.
Thank you.
Musa from Grand Bassa County is our correspondent there, letting us to know what are issues unfolding in the area. With the time check now, 9:39, we will see how best we can go over to bring you one of our correspondents. Let's see whether we can go for Mohammed Sharif there in Bomi County. And as soon as we get Mohammed Sharif, we will definitely let you to know. We can get Mohammed Sharif tonight. Once again, we'll try his lines and see whether we can get him. But just in case we don't get him, we have to understand that. But we have to go over to Mark Nimpan in Maryland County. Mark Nimpan is our correspondent there in Maryland County. And Mark Nimpan needs to tell us exactly tonight what's happening there in Maryland. If you're just joining us, I'd like to say welcome to this platform. My name is Kurma. Mark Nipan is now on the line there from Maryland County. Mark, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very great, and it's a good day to speak loving people of Liberia. We're doing everything possible to sustain the peace of this country.
It's a wonderful thing to have you on the program tonight. Mark, what information are you giving us tonight
Hello?
from Maryland? Are you hearing me, Mike? Hello?
Hello? Yes, hello.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm getting you now.
What
I'm getting-
information do you have for the people of Maryland County? I mean, Liberia tonight from Maryland County.
Well, we're opportune to meet with the sister of company here in Maryland County, Plebo District, where we're able to carry on a program, a retirement program and award program. There was a group that was awarded Best Worker of the Year, and others were retired today. by both sections company, the MOPB and that of the CRC. The MOPB will have 17 person was awarded and 2 person was retired, while 38 person was awarded in the CRC belt and 13 person was retired in the CRC belt as well. We got in touch with the young president in presence of it started, he normally call himself as Kavala Giant, Paul David Doyle, who spoke to us and he said they brought a program in presence to make sure that the company make their workers to feel impressed. Even if you live in a company, you will live with the company with smart. So the thought was to get together to call a party to say a farewell to those that was leaving and those that are still with the company to see how best to motivate them for a job well done during the year in 2023. Also, it was a work done and encouraging people who still in the company to see how best to motivate them to do the needful in terms of protecting and making sure to do the right thing to make their job go straight. We also got in connection with the Human Resource Manager in presence of Mr. Lawrence Tozo, who's the HR for Safeguard Group of Company here in Maryland County. But mind you, the company have been emerged. They have one HR, the both companies. So it's also something that Marylanders and Liberians been speaking against for a couple of years, but things yet to come to change. And of course, he told us that the company is doing everything possible to make sure that those that live in the company should live with smart and good benefit, that they will not regret in leaving the company. But he made mention of the kinds of retirement they have in Liberia. But he said they only scratch on the age range retirement, where as soon as he reaches the age of 60, you go straight to your line of retirement where you will be retired by the company and you'll be given all benefits. But he said he had a great change at the time he took over as HR, where he was given opportunity to workers that once you have been retired, you'll be given a period of 2 months before you can leave the facility of the company. But during then, a former HR was only giving you a week. But he said since he took over, he did it necessary because they are all human and there are a lot of issues that people go through on a daily basis to see how best to protect them to get possible place before they could make a migration.
Thank you very much, Mark Nyimpan, for giving us information tonight.
It's a pleasure, good man.
Okay, Mark Nyimpan there in Maryland County. If you're just joining us, this is the talking point, and this is where you have the opportunity to speak out issues that you will want to talk about. My name is Sheku Koroma, and I'm seeing what I can go over now to bring Mark Maliki Rogers from there in Grand Cape County. What is Mark reporting tonight for us? That's what we need to know. Mark said Donnertown Market in Gawula District, Grand Cape County has turned to a life-threatening area. As you're seeing in the post, this is how the market looks every market day on Easter's Day. It caters to marketeers from Sierra Leone, Monserrado, including people from Bon and Nimba County. The citizens of the county have long been yelling for the relocation of the market. Mark Rogers is our correspondent. We're trying to see whether we can get Mark tonight. If we can, definitely we will have to leave Mark. If we cannot get him, we will have to leave him. We will also try to get in contact with Oliver Zeller from Grand Juda County. And as soon as we get Oliver Zeller, we will come over to you. Oliver Zeller says citizens receive controversial Monserrado County District Number 10 lawmaker Honorable Yeke Koluba after his radio appearance on Smile FM in Zweju. That's what we want to know right now, what happened there. And we really want for Oliver to tell us more on that story. And as soon as we get Oliver will be telling us what's happening in that part of the area. I'm also trying to see what I can get in contact with the Bond County correspondent, Sarah's. That's Clark. And as soon as we get Clark, we will definitely bring Clark over to you here on this radio. And let's see what we can go over to get Clark here tonight. As soon as we get Clark, we bring him over to you. If we can get Clark, then definitely we will have to move on tonight. At 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sorry, we'll go over to bring you our discussion point. And so we're doing all that we can to get the necessary people that they can bring the news over to us tonight. All right, let's take a break, folks. We will be right back.
Shadow on the beat. Sweet, sweet, it's a believer. Now for God I know. I said sweet, sweet, it's a believer. Now for God I know. He won't be the eater. Other creatures can eat it too. Someone can pray for long hair. She can pray for too much, as long as she's living. Her hair will gray in a salon.
And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I don't you get money. The women will roll.
All right. Our correspondent from Grand Jide County, Oliver Zela, is now on the line. Oliver, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Sheku, and good evening to Liberian. Thank you ever so much for joining Grand Jide County this evening.
Oliver, thank you so much. What's happening in Grand Jide right now?
Yes, Sheku, Grand Jide right now is actually the most talked about issue right now in the county. The issue of the late representative. That was some part of last night when the country of Awesome, district number 10 of Monserrado County representative arrived in the county. He was warmly received by citizens of the county. And this morning, Honorable Yeke Koruba actually appeared on the community radio here in Zweju, where he spoke about a lot of issues. And during his appearance this morning, he actually described President Joseph Yuma Boakai just as a statesman. Let's say he described the test of Honorable. That's President Joseph Yuma Boakai as something that is being statesman. And according to him, when he gets back to Monserrado County, he alongside the president will actually redo the just test, which is the power test as well will also be done in the process. That's what he said. So he actually appeared alongside with district number 3 representative Jacob Dibi. And Jacob Dibi utilized the time as an opportunity to caution citizens of the county to remain peaceful and to do away with politics, while they will be observing the aspect of the burial ceremony of the late representative Iro Madison Guia. So, Sekou, just to point you that tomorrow the late lawmaker will be laid to rest, and the burial ceremony will be held at the Eden Chapel AG Church here in Zweju. And
Oliver? Are you there, Oliver? All right, folks. Oliver Zela is our correspondent there in Grand Jide County. But it seems we lost him tonight, and we all know that tomorrow is going to be the burial of late representative. Let's now see whether we can go over to Clark. Clark is our correspondent there in Bond County. And let's see whether we can pick up Clark tonight before we go to Mangibi County and bring on Benson Moko there from Mangibi. Let's see if we can get Clark tonight reporting there from that part of the country. Ramsey Clark is our correspondent now in Bond County. Ramsey, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm okay. How is Montserrado County?
Monrovia, Montserrado is very much beautiful. What news coming from there in Bond County, Banga City?
The coordinator for Banga YMCA, Steny Yekpe, he's calling for collaboration, consider effort to the fight against corruption.
Okay.
Because he said corruption is being practiced at all levels of society, and says there is need to tackle the menace. What he says is that past and current state leaders have failed to see corruption as an enemy to the state. So people who have been caught in the web of the act have been going with impunity. So now, if Liberia must flourish, there is need that state leaders see corruption as enemy and employ innovation to see how best they can tackle the menace.
Mm-hmm.
So he's recommending to the Bwakako administration and also the county leadership to see reason to ensure that people who will be caught in the web of corruption be penalized in order to adjust the situation, to bring the situation to an end.
Okay, what other information? Yesterday you reported about the lively body that was found. How far has that investigation gone?
The police are still investigating. As it stands, the family members, they are in tears and they are waiting on the police for the final investigation, because it is something that happened where report from the
Hello.
play. But again, I was very body, the skin from certain parts were removed, so you could not easily recognize the down. There are parts you could not easily recognize because the skin they were removed. So they are not satisfied. They are waiting the police for an investigation to know as to who did the act.
Is there any other thing you'd like to share with us before we take a leave of you?
Well, Bonkande is fine. That's the only thing from here. Bonkande is fine, unlike the death of little Moses yesterday, but the country is okay at the moment.
Thank you very much for being a part of the broadcast tonight.
Thank you.
Ramsey Clark is our correspondent there in Bond County. Let's now go over to see whether we can have Benson Matis Moko. And Benson Matis Moko is our correspondent there in Mangibi County. What is it happening in Mangibi County? That's what we need to know as well. So Benson Mate Moko. Let me see what I can get his number very fast. And as soon as we get Benson Mate Moko here, we will definitely bring him over to you. 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. We will be going over to bring information. We now have Benson Mate Moko there in Mangibi County. Benson, how are you?
Good, Sekou, and good evening to our many listeners, and thanks for joining my TV this evening.
Benson, what's going on in Mangibi County, Kakata City?
Well, today the community chairman of the Dennisville community here in Kakata, Mangibi, says the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency and the police are also involved in the intake of drugs something he said makes it challenging to effectively combat the issue about drugs throughout Liberia. So he's calling on the national government to see reasons to strengthen the efforts of combating drugs in the country. He also stressed the need of community dweller Johnny Kane enforcing drug-related issues within Liberia. Because he said Liberians cannot depend on the FDA and now the police in combating drugs. Liberians need to join hands together on the issue about drugs to leave Liberia. So Dustin Dukley, the chairman of the Green Hill Committee here in Takata today, stressed more on the issue about helping to combat drugs from Liberia.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So before I leave you, yesterday I reported I was in a little tax schedule. I did not conclude the report. But the issue about agriculture in Liberia, we spoke to one of the local farmers here in Kakata, Maigiri. One August Moore, August Moore is calling on the national government to provide more sponsorship to farmers in the country. He said, Mr. Moore said, he's engaged in different kinds of farming. He does sustainable farming and other farming are done as a farmer, the local farm here in Kakata. But he also emphasized more about President Joseph Dima Bouaka. Like he stressed that President Bouaka being the former agriculture minister of Liberia, there's a need that the agriculture sector going to improve under his work as president. So he wants for those local farmers within Liberia to see the need that to pay more attention on the issue about production of the national staple food, the nation's staple food, which is rice. And the issue is if Liberian farmers focus on the production of the staple food, the country's staple food, rice, it will help to supply other African countries around Africa. So he's calling on the government to invest more in local farmers, the issue about producing rice across Liberia.
Is there any other thing you want to bring to the table before we take a leave of you?
Well, nothing much. My duty is school this evening, and we hope that we will come back on this platform on tomorrow or Monday with other issues from our end here. Thanks for joining me. It's been a wonderful time on the platform this evening.
Thank you very much tonight for being a part of the program as well. Benson Martin Moko happened to be our correspondent there in Mangibi County. We've just a minute now to 10 o'clock. Let's take a break quickly. We will be right back.
Not for God alone. He won't be can eat it. Other creatures can eat it too. One can pray for long hair. She can pray for 2 months. But as long as she's living, her hair will grow in a salon.
And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I don't get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, mama.
You take it from you today, yeah, will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, yeah, will take it from you tomorrow.
Okay, all right. You take it from me today, someone will take it from you tomorrow. So if you're just joining us, once again, I'd like to say welcome to this wonderful segment of our program, The Talking Point. What are we going to be looking at today on the talking point? We will first of all go over to the newspapers in Liberia, know what the trending issue right now in our country, and be able to update you uh, with programs and other issues coming up from our country, Liberia. So our first up tonight is going to be the Senate confirmed Sarah Beslo Nyati as foreign minister. Wow, that's fun to hear. Speaker Kofa initiates steps for historic post-war audit of the House of Representatives. Wow, I want to see that. Sir Joseph Senator narrowly escaped death in home fire as victims resident blame fire service. In LEC, a resident of Bentown, Lower Mangibe County, alarmed by East International Operation, property destructions and health hazard reported. Is another thing to hear tonight. Sankofa pilgrimage to Barbados enabled trade and diplomatic relations between Barbados and Liberia. And then finally, we'll go over to Daily Observer newspaper. First story we have there is Sarah Beslo Nyati. Other confirmed, Senate confirmed second batch of nominees. And the butcher finally succumbed to audit. Who is the butcher? We're going to see that. President Boakai declared his asset. These are all stories we're going to be looking at tonight, right? So let's quickly go over to bring you our first story right now on this radio. Our first story right now on this radio, we're going to look at the Sarah Beslo Nyati confirmation. It has been confirmed already, so we go for the story here tonight. The Liberian Senate has unanimously confirmed Madam Sarah Beslo Nyati as Minister of Foreign Affairs and other presidential nominees. The Senate reached a decision in a special section on Friday, February 9, 2024. Other confirmed nominees: Roland Giddings as Minister of Public Works, Councillor J. Bangaloo, Minister of Youth and Sport, Madam Bimin Harris Colley as Minister of Gender, Children and Protection. The body also confirmed Dr. Louis Porto for the post of Minister of Health. Following the confirmation of these nominees, the President of the Senate and Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Kuhn, mandated the Secretary of the Senate to communicate the decision to the Executive. All right there quickly, we'll see what we can move on to bring you another story here tonight. Joe Boakai declared asset. Yeah, that was yesterday. We're going to take a short story on that quickly. President Joseph Numa Boakai has declared his assets to the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission, the LACC, a move to fulfill its major requirement, the code of conduct for public officials. It also highlights the commitment and transparency of the Liberian leader and set an example for government officials to follow suit. Asset declaration play a pivotal role in promoting political accountability and transparency by ensuring that public officials disclose their financial and other real property holdings and properties to prevent conflicts of interest and illegal accumulation of wealth. Minutes after declaring his asset, Boakai stressed the importance of upholding the principle of honesty and independence with both the institution and its government. Boakai further called for government officials to follow suit and adhere to the higher ethical standard. Parallel to Boakai's declaration, several other officials from the legislative branch of the Liberian government, including Senate Pro Tempore Nyombli Kanga Lawrence and Senator Abraham Darius DeLong, including Janitor Boy Charles Singwe, has already declared the asset. Civil society organizations, including Centel, Integrity Watch Liberia, and ARED, has called for Boakai to disclose his asset publicly, emphasizing the importance of transparency in good governance. You are listening to Blaze Communication Network. We broadcast right here in Monrovia, Liberia. Let's move on now to bring you another story. We're trying to see whether we can get something from here, but we'll move on to bring you this one from the Daily Observer. Not Daily Observer, sorry, but the front page African newspaper. At the same time, while we stay on the Daily Observer newspaper, let's see whether we can bring you this information. We're going to look at the editorial right now and go for it. The editorial of this paper say do away with medical and settle for the best, an advice to President Joseph Numa Boakai. Over the years, especially in the governing history of our country in recent time, many of our past governments have underperformed and at times failed to deliver because of settling for Medicare. A Medicare who is an individual who is not very good and of average quality in the performance of the tax assigned have hampered the progress and development of many nations and institutions, with Liberia being no exception. Medical is also an individual of ordinary quality to hinder productivity and discourage competition, thereby suppressing the healing potential of individuals and the states. As our nation has transitioned to a new democratically elected government, and as President Joseph Numa Boakai has begun to appoint members of his cabinet, opting for the best, doing away with sorry, we take that again. If the administration is supposed to succeed and deliver, recruiting and keeping those who consistently underperform or are not productive and who exhibit a mindset of mediocrity can have damaging impacts on the overall performance of any institution of government. Medical can create a perception that underperform is tolerated and can lead to the mutation of high performing individuals in government structures and create a very toxic system. Settling for medical is a dangerous practice and when encouraged can lead institution and government into the state of complacency and comfort. We're going to hold it right there tonight. And now we see whether we can go over to Front Page Africa. Something is going on with the Front Page Africa newspaper, but I'm still trying to see Speaker Kofar initiate what? We need to know that. 9 minutes after 10 o'clock, my name is Sheku Kuruma, and I'd like to say welcome to this wonderful time. The National Identification Registry, the government agency charged with the responsibility of producing national ID cards, has announced the deployment of 8 mobile teams across different lines ministries and agencies. According to the authority at the NRR, the new initiative is aimed at enrolling all employees of government and renewing expired ID cards as well. The authority of the NRR made the decision less than a week after Joseph Numa Boakai made a public declaration committing its government to support the registry. And our executive director, Andrew Peters, in a statement issued recently, expressed excitement over a policy statement made by Boakai promising to execute his vision without delay. Peters indicated that unique identification is key for running modern government and companies, while pointing out the pronouncement made by the president has evaluated his team to work. According to the NRR boss, the National Biometric Identification System is an irreversible cause. Despite some cliché, the NRR has recorded sources in different spheres of its operation. The National Registry has up to date enrolled 700,000 citizen and resident into the NBRS with 27 permanent enrollment centers across the country. We'll hold it right there and we'll move on to bring you this story if we can. I see the photograph of Speaker Jonathan Kofor. In his quest to promote accountability at the House of Representatives, Speaker J. Fonalti Kofa has invited the Auditor General to make a presentation on the importance of transparency and accountability as it relates to the work of the House of Representatives. The audit, if carried out, will be the first post-world audit of the House. Speaker Kofa told Front Page Africa that the invitation to the Auditor General was a fulfillment of his promise to run a more transparent and accountability House. During the Speaker's election, we promised the member and the general public that we will run a more transparent and accountable House. Meanwhile, upon appearing at the House on Thursday, the Auditor General, P. Gasworth Jackson Sr., proposed a system reviewed audits of the legislature within a period of 2 years as part of efforts to ensure a future comprehensive audit of the branch of government. Auditor General Jackson revealed that the new measure will put into place a clear financial system in compliance with various financial policies, including the Public Financial Management Law and other important financial instruments. This, he said, would be aided by the General Auditing Commission follow-up unit comprising qualified auditors and company by periodic review. The AG then disclosed that within 2 years, the legislature will be comprehensively audited by the General Auditing Commission after these 16 are being put into place. At the end of the presentation, the Auditor General proposal was tabled and sent to the relevant Committee on Public Accounts and Audit. Well, right there, we'll move on to bring Sir Joseph's story. Join us always and be with us. Those of you who are taking time to watch us right now, we'd like to say thank you very, very much. We are still awaiting Gibson Jeru to be a part of the program tonight. Gibson is not yet around, so let's see what we can bring you this one. Senator Sir Joseph narrowly escaped death in home fire as veteran resident blames fire service and LC. Monserrado County Senator Sir Joseph narrowly escaped death early Thursday when his home in Congotown was gutted by fire. He and other occupants of the house were left stranded as the fire engulfed the building. It took the intervention of his good neighbor to break in and save their house. Harry Zoe, a neighbor who is being celebrated for leading the mission to rescue Senator Sir Joseph, speaking to Front Page Africa, said, "I came home and heard a lot of noise from the people yelling and a confusion." A police officer identified as McCarthy affirmed Henry and Harry's narrative, stating the senator was extracted from the inferno in a distressed state and was immediately transported to the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital. His colleague at the Liberian Senate did not hold a regular session on Thursday, as Senate Pro Tempore Lawrence led them to sympathize with him. Front Page also could not reach Senator Sir Joseph, but later gathered that he had been discharged and was staying at a local hotel. Senator Sir Joseph was not the only resident in Congotown whose property was destroyed. A few blocks away, upon London Hill, Elvis A. Tamba, 3-bedroom house was also burned down. Tamba said he woke up in the middle of the night and began to smell burnt rubber. When he came out of the room to look, half of his house was flamed. Amidst the chaos of fire, Liberian Fire Services did not respond until the property both Sir Joseph and Elvis Tama consumed in the flame. Let's hold it right there tonight, and then we'll take one more story. We call it a date on this program. Those of you who are watching would like to say thank you very much for always joining us. And we hope and pray that you always be with us on this platform.
believe. Now for God alone. I said sweet, sweet, yes I believe. Now for God alone. He won't be the eater. Other creatures can eat it too. One can pray for long hair. She can pray for 2 months. But as long as she's living, her hair will grow in a salon.
And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I know you get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, I'm doing well, mama. I'm a brother, I'm doing well. Sweet, I live. No, but good, I'm a brother, never wear my wig out.
You take it from you today, I will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, and I will take it from you tomorrow, brother. Oh, guess I believe, guess I believe, oh, guess I believe. Now for God alone.
Sweet, I live. No, but good, I'm a brother, never wear my wig out. Sweet, I live. No, but good, I'm a big
You want me to have the sweet, sweet.
Okay, all right. So without further waste of time, folks, this is how we like to come to the end of this one. We hope when which we would have gone up to 11 o'clock with Gibson Jerry. He happened to be the host of this program. But I'll be here tomorrow. I'm sure tomorrow Gibson will be here also. Thank you very much for joining us. And we'd like to say bye-bye for now.
Nunca, nunca, nunca.